Hello everybody, this is Kiran and today we are going to learn about how to automate any drop down in Selenium. Now, drop down is one of the most commonly used web elements and we need to automate them. We need to know how to find out the web element and how to click on or select any option from the list available in any drop down. So here the trick is we have to use a select class. We have to import the select class and we have to create an object to the select class to be able to access the options available in any drop down. Now let's see a drop down, how it look like and how we can select any option from the list. Now let's see what is a drop down, how it looks like and how to select options. So this will open some website of our choice. Let's say I have opened Rediff Mail create account page. Here you can see here we have date of birth section wherein we have a drop down from where we can select the dates. We have month from where we can select months and year. So these all are drop downs majorly. We also have drop down in the country section. You can see I live in country India and then any other country I can choose from here, and the city is also a drop down. Now we should know how to automate them. So for that we have to do is to import a select class, create an object to the select class, and then using three different ways we can actually select any one of the options which is available in the drop down. Now let's move ahead with the PPT first. So let's say there's a website which is having a country section wherein we have to actually find out or select any country of our choice. So for that we are importing this package org.openqa.selenium.support.ui.select. Using this package we'll create an object to it. So I'm moving to the next slide. Now, so step 1 is about importing the select package. The step 2 is about creating an instance of the select class. Example, we can see here select DRP country or any variable for that matter is equals to new select, and inside that we are passing the location or the locator to be able to click on that drop down so that the options open up. Now let me show you what is this part. This is we can find out using any locator, XPath name, any locator we can use, and driver.findElement by, and then we are actually going and clicking on this click. This click is recorded there actually. Okay, so majorly what was happening here is select package which we have imported. We are creating an object to that with any variable name is equals to new select, and inside that we are passing a click which is a driver.findElement by, XPath name, ID, anything. So we are passing that, so that it means using this object you are actually accessing that click, and once you have accessed that click all the options will be open, and from there you have to select. Now this selection of the object happens using either by visible text or value or index. So I'll tell you what visible text, value and index mean, but for now let's create a code. Let's write a code to be able to automate a drop down. So we'll take the Rediff Mail create account page and we'll write a code. We'll import select class, we'll create an object to the select class, and after that the third step will be explained. Let's move forward. Let's go to our demo, Selenium demo. We'll create another class inside our package. This is our package. I'll do a right click on the package and I'll create another class. The name of the class will be Dropdown. So it's a good practice to have capital letters in the name of the class, starting with capital letters. Now the class is created already. Now you can see here, let's create our main method. Just a second, it's compiling. It's taking a bit of more time than expected. Cool. So public static void main. string args. Now after that, first of all, we have to import the select class. Even if we are not importing, it will let us import when we are writing that select object name is equals to new select and then finding out the locator. Now for that, what we are going to do, we are going to go to the website, we are going to find out the locator. So let me select country. Okay, so I'll just do a right click, inspect. So when I do an inspect, I get an option to write my XPath, or I can check any locator of my choice. So I can see here the locators available are name. So this is the name which looks dynamic, and ID. So ID is a better option. So I can do a select using ID. So I'll just copy this ID. I'll copy this ID. I'll go here. I'll just write randomly, and then I can write here select, and the variable I can create is as drp drop country. I'm using camel casing for creating my variable name, is equals to new select. And then inside this I will write driver.findElement by. Okay, this select, the S will be capital always, remember this. So what I'm doing, I have not imported anything, so I'll get an error. Okay, driver.findElement by, you know how to write this by now. So by will be passed here, and then I'm writing ID here because I told you I'll be using ID, and I can just close this. So I'll just copy, Control X, and I'll paste it here. Okay, now what is happening here is I'm getting an error because I have not imported the select package. So I'll just click on here, I'll get an option to import, and then I can just click this and I'll be able to import the select package. Now you can see I've created an object to the select class, and I'm writing new select, and inside that I'm writing driver.findElement by dot I can use XPath, I can use ID. I've used ID, country. So this bracket is for this bracket is for by, and this bracket is for this. Now why am I getting an error in the driver? Because we have forgot to create the WebDriver object. We'll do that. WebDriver, we have to remember to write this first, is equals to new Chrome. I want to start Chrome or maybe Firefox, anything is okay here in the new Selenium, you know that. So new Chrome driver, and I need to import packages for that too, you know that, right? So I just import WebDriver package, and I'll also import Chrome driver package. Yeah, here we go. So all this is set now. My skeleton for the code is ready. So here you can see, okay, I'm using this object now, and using that I'm going and accessing the place where Dropdown is available, but I'm not clicking there because I'm going to select. That's why I'm not clicking on it. Though from the keyboard or using the mouse we are clicking there manually, but here we are using select method, select class. That's where we are not clicking there. Now what we have to do is using the object which is created, which is drop country dot. So what we have to do, we can select using different ways. So let's use the first way. Select by visible text is one of the way. By visible text, this is one of the way, and I will be passing what visible text I want to select. Now what is visible text? Let's learn that. So let me go back to the DOM, and I'll show you what visible text look like. So if we check the DOM, we'll see here the options which are available. If you can see here, this one, the one which is outside the tag, these are all visible text. That means the text which is visible when you actually click on any of the drop downs. So these are the text which are visible: India, Angola, Antarctica, Australia. So all these are the text which are available. So those are here written outside the tags. So these are the visible text. Now there is another way of selecting any option. The second way is to use select by value. So you can see here there is one value associated with all the options available. So select by value also we can do. Now the third way of doing or selecting any object, selecting any option is select by index. Index is on which number it is appearing, as in if we start with first, that is India, it will be 0th, the first one is 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So indexing is done like that. So we can select by index also. So we can choose any of the options. Let's use all the three options and see how it selects. So we'll write select by visible text and then let's select a text. Let's say we'll choose India, Australia for that matter, anything is okay. So we have to see what is the exact way of writing this text, because we don't want to write it ourselves. So we have to just check what we want to select. So we have, okay, I think India is on the top in the options. Yeah, here it is. India is on the top. So I'll just copy this from here and I'll paste it here. Select by visible text India. Now this is visible text. We can also do selections based on index and by value. So for that we'll select some other drop down, because for this drop down we have to only choose by visible text. Now we have to run the code and see that it is able to select India or not. So I have written this line driver.get and then I have passed the URL which we want to open, which is the Rediff mail create account page, and then select is the package is the class which we have imported. We are creating an object to it, is equals to new select, and then we are passing the position of the drop down, and then drop is an object dot select by visible text, and then the text which is there visible, so which is here. Let's say this is the country, so inspect, you can see here options, so these are the visible text, right? So it's outside the tag, remember. Now let's run the code and see if it is able to select India or not. I'm running the code here, so it will open my Chrome browser and the URL, then it will select India in the country section, if you can see here, right? So I have not written driver.close, that's where it is not yet closing. So I'll just close all the open browsers as a part of the automation. Now I've closed all the browsers. Now you can see here visible text did work correctly. Now we'll write something for select by value. Now we'll create another object for the city. So for that we have to find out the XPath of this first. So I just do right click inspect. So you can see here the name and whatever attributes are available are all dynamic. So we'll not choose these. We'll choose absolute XPath. So we can go to selectors hub and we can copy this absolute XPath from here. Copy, and I'll just paste it here. And I will write. I'll create another object which is select dr drop city is equals to new select. I can copy this from your driver, this one whole thing, control C, control V. Instead of ID I'll be writing XPath this time, and the XPath also is absolute. So I have to copy it from here, HTML control X, and I can just paste it here. Okay, so you can see here, yeah. So this is the absolute XPath, and now I can write drop city dot select by visible text. Okay. Okay, here the select is small because it is a method. Visible text, sorry, by value, not visible text. Select by value, and I want to paste the value which I want to select. Let's say I'll go to the website again and I'll go to the city thing, and the values which are associated with the cities are these value Bhopal, Baroda. So in the case of country we had numbers associated in the value. If you just check, here we go. So you saw that the options, the values are 1, 11, 10, 11, these are the values. And in case of city, they have written values as the city names itself. It's absolutely okay, whatever it is. We have to just choose from the value section. Now we'll choose Bangalore. So I've just copied it from here, so the spelling and everything is correct. And then I'll go to my code and I'll paste the value here. Control Z, sorry. Just a second, I need to copy it again. Control C. Now I'll Control V, Control S. So this is the code. I'll just run the code for you and we'll see that it's able to select Bangalore or not. I think there's an error here because it's new line. Hang on. So I think there's one more this needed. Control S. Let me run this code for you. Have a look on my screen. Now you can see the browser will open and it will open different. It will open the website and then it will select India and it will select Bangalore. So select by visible text is done, select by value is done. We'll do select by index quickly. So India and Bangalore got selected. It's very much clear from my screen. Now we can also write a quick code for select by index. So I won't create another object. It will save some time. So what we are going to do, Control V, select by index, and I'll change the index. Hang on. Let's say index. Okay. Now I don't want to select by value. So what I'll do, index is the appearance, the number on which it is appearing. So let's say my city, I want to select Agartala, so I have to select index as 0, Agra as 1. So if I select index as 1, so Agra will be selected. Okay. Now let me run this code for you so you can see India and Agra will be selected. So here we go. So opening the website, India got selected, and then okay, Agartala got selected. So we'll see which is appearing on index number 1. So we'll just go here. Okay, so it's not starting from 0. Here it's starting from 1. That's okay. So we have to select. Maybe this is the 0th index. So this is 1. That's okay. We have to just know the indexing for where it's starting from. So Agartala is 1, so it got selected. Okay. So that's how the indexing works. And yeah, that's how we can use select by visible text, select by value, select by index. So that's how we will be automating any drop down. Going back to the PPT for a quick recap. Now, here we go. Now there can be some drop downs where we can select multiple options also. So just look at my screen. There is some DOM in which we have options having banana, apple, orange, grape as the options, and we can select multiple. Okay, so in that case what we have to do is we can just write multiple lines of code and they will be selecting it one by one without creating different objects. Using the same object, we can just write multiple lines of code and then it will be selecting. So what is happening here is we are just starting on the web driver and we are getting the URL which is having a drop down with multiple options selection available. Then we'll create an object to the select class as usual as we do. New select, and then we'll find out the location of that particular drop down using ID, name, XPath, anything. Then that object dot select by visible text and that object dot select by, again you can use visible text or value or index, doesn't matter. So you have to write multiple selection lines, that's it, using the same object in case of multiple drop down. Okay, now you can have a look on my screen. There are different select method which we have already discussed. So select by visible text, and if you want to deselect that option, you can use deselect by visible text also. Okay, now the select and deselect options that displays the text matching the parameter and it should be exactly in the same manner in which it is written in the DOM. Okay. Now the second option is select by value and deselect by value. Same thing, if you want to not select it, you can use deselect also. Third is select by index and deselect by index. Same thing. Now is multiple, if you want to actually find out if a particular drop down is multiple or not. So what you can do is whatever object you have created to the select class, you can use that object is multiple, then do a multiple selection. If not, then you can actually do a single selection like previously we were doing. So if you actually want to find out if the drop down is multiple, you can use another method which is multiple. Okay, so is multiple will return you true. So if you are using the conditional statement, if else statements, so the code will go and execute the part in the if section only if the if condition is returning you a true result. So if it returns a true, it means it will execute the if part, else it can just do a simple selection. Also, if you want to deselect everything which you have selected, you can also use deselect all. So that's the beauty of using all the select methods which are there. So they are select by visible text, deselect by visible text, select by value, deselect by value, select by index, deselect by index, is multiple, and also deselect all. So that's all for the drop down class. We'll learn new concepts in the next class. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.